Hey guys, Pitmaster here. When is it okay to keep your hands down? And when is it okay not to? The mistake that a lot of people make is sometimes when someone's fighting, let's talk about sport fighting. Sometimes when someone's sport fighting, and this could be in the street, but mainly in the sport, people drop their hands. Anderson Silva, Muhammad Ali, this last fight with Tyson Fury and Wilder, Tyson Fury actually put his hands behind his back and stuck his tongue out. Some people would think that's crazy, and it is, but there's a reason for it. Sometimes they're showboating, but sometimes they're getting inside of the head of their opponent, number one, and number two, they are creating an opening. Let me show you what I mean. Sometimes, like Anderson Silva, except for Chris Weidman, he'd drop his hand, and then this guy sees an opening, and he puts his hand right up and goes for the KO. In other words, sometimes when somebody will drop their hands, their opponent gets overzealous, right? And he thinks he's got him. So he attacks, but he lets his guard down a little. And that is usually when a fighter will do that. Because almost all the time you see that Roy Jones Jr., Muhammad Ali, Tommy Hearns, when they drop their hands and their opponent attacks, they counter. Anderson Silva did it all the time. All the time. Forrest Griffin, he kept dropping his hand and he knocked Forrest Griffin out like that. But anyway, so you don't do it when you're in the pocket. Like you don't throw a punch and then just stand here and get knocked out. You do it when you're arm's length away, where you can hit them and they're just coming into where they can hit you. In other words, I'm right here, then all of a sudden he sees me drop his hand, and then I come in, put my hand up, and throw it as a punch. It could be a left hook from here a lot, boom, right? Or a lot of people, like Anderson Silva, Muhammad Ali, etc., throw their rear hand. So they come in, and they drop their hands, and then as soon as it starts coming in, boom. They get to the punch faster than their opponent. Saw this a few fights ago, and it was that guy that's, it was the Irish guy's partner. Remember when he was fighting?
Yeah. Artem Lobov?
Okay, so when Artem Lobov fought last time, it was like 3 weeks ago.
Johnson, right?
He fought Johnson, right? Michael Johnson. And he was trying that dropping the hand thing, but it wasn't working for him because he doesn't have the speed to do it. In order to make this work, you have to be exceptionally fast. Just like if you want to be a slugger and be successful, you have to have a knockout punch, or you're going to be slugging against someone that hits harder than you. So the slugger wants to be the power puncher, or slugging is ineffective. And somebody that drops their hands and they're boxing and they're showboating a little, they have to have more speed than usual, definitely more than their opponent, or it will not work. I remember once when Roy Jones Jr. was fighting James Toney. So Roy Jones Jr. drops his hands, right? And then he caught Tony. And then Tony dropped his hands and got caught by Roy Jones. So you have to be faster than your opponent. But with that said, sometimes you can be out a little bit more, so out of harm's way, and you might want to drop your hands because you might catch them with the timing. Sometimes timing trumps speed. In other words, if I know he's going to drop his hand for either a takedown or pulling it back, I might drop my hands for a split second, and then I'm able to swing that left hook in time, okay? So like I said, there is a time and a place to drop your hands. It's not always, it is a lot of times, but it is not always just for showboating, okay? And in the street, it would be done more in a close contact context where I'm like this, because you're not talking like this. So if I'm talking to someone here, I'm planning a punch from here, and I can get a good arcing strike from this position. Not necessarily a straight punch, but I can get a good arcing punch. So if I'm talking to someone and they're right here, and I'm sensing their body language, I can come up with a arcing strike very quickly. You're just swinging it right up. Okay, so that would be in the street where you'd want to drop your hands. Probably the only time. When you're in close and you're like, I don't want to fight, bro. Boom. All right, I don't want to fight, bro. Boom. All right, so that's when you could drop your hands, and that's pretty much the only time you should drop your hands in a fight. All right, what do you think?
Sounds great.
All right, guys, please share this, please like it, and please comment, because I want to get all of your guys' thoughts on this so I can respond. All right, make sure you share this and subscribe.